Hi, everybody. I hope you can hear me well. Welcome to another skill search. My name is Vineeth Joseph. You can call me VJ for short. I work with CVI. I work with Paul as one of his setters. I've been working since 2023, since the beginning of 2023, and I am so glad to be here to be a part of the skill search with all of you. And I'm looking forward to share what I have learned and hoping that you would learn something good today. I hope you can hear me all right. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Just want to make sure
Here.
that the voice is clear.
Yep.
All right. Amazing. Good to see all of you here. If we are ready, we can go ahead and start the presentation. All right, everybody. So I'm just sharing my presentation here with you right now. Today, as you may all know, we are going to talk about the basics of appointment setting. We're going to discuss a few things. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I did already a little more, go through the introduction of what appointment setting is, why appointment setting is crucial, some key components that you need to understand about appointment setting, understanding your audience, crafting your script. These are all important aspects, and the right communication channels, how you can use tech, some challenges that you might face, how you can overcome them, some best practices, and at the end, we'll have a few minutes for questions. Okay? All right, everybody. So I've been working as a setter here for a while now. I've completed 1,500 or more calls so far in appointment setting as a triage setter. I have brought in over $500,000 in revenue, closer to 600 right now, if we count November as well. So I know a couple of things that I think I can share with you with what I have learned as a setter working for this amazing company. Now, when it comes to appointment setting, all right, since 2020, since the pandemic, that's when things really picked up. A lot of people started staying more at home, working from home. The whole remote aspect of working came into play. We didn't. It was not as prevalent before that, but now it is so much bigger. And that is what is part of why a lot of businesses have gone online, and appointment setting has been crucial for businesses, especially as they start growing. Now, appointment setting has been pivotal in the sales process of almost all online-based businesses, but it has been there for quite some years before that. If any one of you has been or has experienced telesales, car sales, all of those companies, all of those niches have appointment setting with them, but we have taken it to another level in the online space. Now, the goal of appointment setting is to have the right prospect speak with the lead or the consultant, the person who can actually help them. That is what your goal is as an appointment setter. But if you are like the owner of a company, you would be setting appointments for yourself. If you are an appointment setter for a company, you would be setting the appointment for the consultant, whoever that may be, who's in the next step of the process. That way you save time for yourself, your team, and only those who are the most interested, the most motivated, who are ready to take action, who can be helped by you specifically, will speak to your consultant. Why is appointment setting crucial these days, especially? Now, imagine you have hundreds of people to talk to today. Like in our Facebook group, we have 1,000 people in our Facebook group. In a day, I cannot talk to 1,000 people. I cannot help 1,000 people. So as an appointment setter, my aim would be to make sure that I talk to enough number of people in the group or from a list, and then make sure those who are the most interested go on to the calendar of who our consultant is. A consultant's call might be 45 minutes, an hour long, and they really don't have the space to talk to everybody. That is your role as a appointment setter. Now, you manage a lot of time. Because of that, you use your time very well. Number two, because you efficiently use your time, you increase the productivity. The sales consultant gets to talk to better people, more interested, motivated individuals who are ready to take action, who can be helped right now. So the productivity increases. And number three, building and maintaining relationships. As an appointment setter or somebody who sets appointment, the idea is not just to talk to somebody like a robot and send them over. That's not the idea. The idea is to have that physical, the human contact, have people get into your ecosystem, build relationships, and eventually, if they are ready today, send them over. If they are not ready today, maintain a relationship. I've had people who've become clients after 3 months since the first time we talked, after 6 months since the first time we talked, after a year since the first time I talked. So even a year or 2 years since you started the relationship, people will still come in. And your role as an appointment setter is so crucial to keep that relationship going on and on. People are more interested when they know you, when they like you, when they wanna be around you. So that is who you are going to be as an appointment setter. It is not just setting appointments once and done. No, you build relationships here. And of course, at the end of any day, the role of a business is to make profit. We definitely will close more deals, generate better revenue by having appointment setting. Now, before you start setting appointments, before you build your whole appointment setting process, what you really need to have set in place is knowing who you have to talk to, who are the right kind of people that you need to reach out to, who your niche is, who your target audience is. Once you get in touch with them, once you know who they are specifically, only then can you build something up that is relevant to them. Build an appointment setting process that is relevant to that person. If you are a financial coach and you reach out to people who are looking to lose weight, it doesn't make sense, does it? Right? If you are a person who caters to moms who are expecting, there's no point in you reaching out to dads, right? So that is what you need to understand. Have a good target audience, get clear on that, and only then move towards building your appointment setting process, and in particular your appointment setting script. In the meantime, I'm not sure if anybody can talk in the meantime, but if you have questions, you can definitely put it in the chat. And Jules, you can definitely help me with that, won't you?
No questions for now.
Okay, good. I would love to have some more interaction from the members out here. It just looks like I'm talking to myself, but please do as possible. All right, now, an important part of the appointment setting process is building an effective script. All right. You can talk to people. You can get appointments set by just having discussions with people. That's the goal. But when you have a script in place, something that you can follow through every time you talk to somebody, you know what points you need to hit, that makes your process that much better. Remember, you can wing it for a time, but once you start growing, it's going to be very hard to do that. And it's very hard to track your data if you are going to wing it every time. So please make sure you have an effective script built into place, at least something that you can follow in principle, if not exactly by word. So when building an effective script, some of the most important areas to cover are: one, what the goals of your audience is. What are your goals when it comes to XYZ topic in the next few months, couple of years? It could be anything. For a weight loss coach, what are your goals when it comes to losing weight over the next 1 year, for example? Second, what is their current situation right now when it comes to a person that you're talking to? Where are they right now in the process of hitting that particular goal? They want to let's say they want to lose 10 kilos, 10 kgs or 20 pounds. where are they in that process right now? Are they just starting off? Have they lost a few pounds? Are they stuck? Are they in a plateau? Where are they right now? You need to understand what their current situation is. Then, once you understand what their current situation is, find out what their current problem is in hitting that goal. So they want to lose 20 pounds. They're stuck at the 10 pound. They've lost 10 pounds and they just can't seem to go past the next stage. They can't break beyond that. There must be a reason for it. And if you're a weight loss coach, you've trained enough number of people to understand when you hit plateaus, you need to make changes to the way to your lifestyle. It could be food, it could be exercise, it could be sleep, it could be water intake. You know it. You are the expert here. So when understanding their problems as an appointment setter, it is important to make sure you understand what their current problem is in hitting that goal that you talked about. Then, next thing, obstacles. What's stopping you from accomplishing that goal right now? Well, I lost 10 pounds, but then I just love chocolates so much. I just can't stop eating chocolates. I've tried every diet out there. I tried paleo, keto, no carb, only carb. The seafood diet, that's my favorite. I see food, I eat food, so it could be multiple reasons. What is really stopping you? Figure that out. You don't know. They know what their problems are. So make sure you ask them. It's always important to ask, always important to understand and not assume. Never assume what somebody else's problems are. Always ask them. So find out what their obstacles are. And check, what else have you tried so far? Have you tried to fix this? Have you gone to a coach before? Have you joined a gym? What is it that you have tried before? Understand exactly where they are. And based on that, now you have their goals. You have their current situation. You have their current problem. You know what obstacles they are facing. And you know what they have tried before and failed. Now, with all of this information, you know if that person can be helped by you or not. Can you help them more? Can you help them lose those last 10 pounds? Or are you more of the person who can only help them lose the first 10 pounds? You make a decision there. I think we have helped enough number of people lose 20 pounds in 6 months time, and you've been at it for a year. You haven't done it yet. I think we can do that. We have worked with so many people. We have so many people who have done that with us, and we are sure of our ability to help you to do that. So would you be against having a conversation with one of our consultants about how we can potentially help you? Get them an answer. Jules, I have a couple of raised hands right now. Is that something that I need to see?
No, Cameron had a question. I asked him to type it in the chat, but he hasn't typed his question yet. So I'll let you know if he does.
Okay, great. All right. I just want to make sure in the chat you can all let me know if I'm going too fast or so far things look good. Just a thumbs up would do.
Yeah, you're good for now, Vineeth.
All right, great. All right. So now we've understood what it means to build a basic script. We have talked about their goals, what their situation is, and we've understood how a basic script can be built. Now, what are the communication channels that you can use to set appointments? These are some of the ones that I've taken, that some of the ones that we use for our company specifically there. And these are around the world, I would say the most common ways of setting appointments. So if you learn any of these, this should definitely be helpful to you. What we prefer as a company is our preferred method of reaching out and setting appointments is through phone calls. All right. So easiest way, pick up your phone, call them, talk to them, see if they can be helped, set the appointment with them. All right. An additional source to that is using emails. Now, emails are good for communication. Emails are good for sending value, sending a lot of resources. You may have seen, if you are on Paul's email list, he may have sent so much value over to you already, so many things that would have been helpful to you. As an appointment setter, you can do the same. In conjunction with your phone calls, in conjunction with your process, you can add emails as well. Send in more invites to them to join the call. Send them more resources if they need more understanding of who you are, what you do. And send them notes if you're just reaching out to them, if they are on a long-term follow-up basis. And all of you know, social media is prevalent, has been big. There are billions of people on social media: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, you name it. You will find your client, your ideal client in all of these places. I don't think there's any niche, or there might be very few niches where you actually can't find your ideal client through social media. So use social media as well. Now, phone calls is one method. Through social media, you can set appointments through direct messages, which is in short DMs. I've put that in as well. You can reach out to them, talk to them via text, and get them to become set appointments for them with your consultant. That is another process that you can learn as well. But depending on what process you use, phones or DMs, they both have their pros and their cons. So depending on your situation, you need to figure out which works best for you. Now, another thing that each one of you can do when or need to start thinking in the direction of is, when you're setting appointments, you need to start using technology to improve your efficiency. There's only so much a person can do. We have 24 hours in a day. We work for 8 hours. The rest of the time is for personal life, 8 hours for sleep, 8 hours for personal life things. We just have 8 hours in a day. And to make it as efficient as possible, let's make sure that we start using the tech that is available to us. There are a lot of free technology out there that you can really make good use of. Then once you get into a more advanced state where you have a lot of cash flow coming in, you can start using paid technology as well. Some of the things that we use and we would recommend you to use are CRM systems, client relationship management systems. Basically, for anybody who's just looking to start out, an Excel sheet is probably your go-to CRM. That's the fastest way to do it. Or right now you can use Google Sheets. These are all easy and free methods of using, building and tracking out all of the information. When I talk about CRMs, the reason why we need CRMs is to track all our data. We need to make sure that we have all of the information stored in terms of who we are reaching out to, how many times we are reaching out to them, what is the result of that process. Have they become a client, or are they looking for help later? Where are they in the whole process? So that is the point of having a CRM. Everybody needs to have some sort of CRM if you are going to do appointment setting. If you're going to be efficient in what you do, you need to have CRM. It is a non-negotiable if you want to succeed. So please make sure you track everything in terms of the number of calls, the number of people, the emails you send, the texts you send, who you talk to, emails, everything. All right. So that's very important. For somebody, for more advanced users, you can start using paid CRMs like HubSpot, things of that sort. A second tech that I would recommend all of you using is scheduling software. Now, everybody or almost all of us have Gmail, Hotmail, or Yahoo, one of the emails. We are connected by emails, all of us. So you can start using scheduling software in connection to your emails. For example, I use Gmail. I have a Google Calendar, so I have all my appointments set or scheduled on my calendar on a daily basis. The reason why we do this is when you have scheduled appointments in, you make sure that you don't miss an appointment. You don't have to rely on your brain or a piece of paper that you have written and just lost for an appointment. You show professionalism, and the person on the other end who is expecting your call at the time that you promised them, they know you keep your promises and they can trust you. You know, appointment setting is also all about building trust. If you do what you say, all right, and you say only things what you do. So schedule everything, all your appointments, make sure you schedule them. What we use and what I would recommend everybody to use is Calendly. Calendly is a scheduling software that you just have to type in calendly.com. There's a free version that you'll get one scheduling link that you can use. You can just check that out. That's something that you can use. If you pay for the next version, the more pro versions, you get multiple scheduling options. But for somebody who's starting out, start using Calendly right away. Learn how to use it. Connect it to your G Calendar. It's pretty easy. Anybody can understand it. So just go through that. That is something that will really make things more efficient for you. Thirdly, email templates. Now, if you talk to, like for us, for example, we talk to hundreds of people on a regular basis, on a daily basis, even, 50, 100, 150 people a day. So what we need to do is we need to be fast. We need to be efficient with time. We still have the same 8 hours to do more work. So email templates reduces a lot of time when it comes to using emails. Even on Gmail, you just go to Gmail, there's a templates button there. You click the templates button and you can create templates for repeated emails, such as invites, such as links, such as resources. Make sure you start using that feature as well. It is there for everybody. It is free and you can definitely use that. And fourthly, using AI powered assistants. Now, that's the future. All of you know about AI. You open up Instagram, Facebook, everything is AI at this point. Everybody's using AI. Chat GPT. Yeah, it's huge. So please look into AI as well. Especially once you get it, some of them might be more pricey, more paid versions, but that is something that you should really keep in the back of your mind. If you want to start getting hyper efficient, start using AI. And that is what we as a company are focused on as well. We are experts in using AI. We are experts in helping you with AI. Our members can attest to that. So AI is definitely going to save you a lot of time, a lot of effort on repeated tasks. It could be anything from scheduling. It could be doing conversations itself. So multiple ways you can use AI. Now, we talked about quite a few things here. What are the challenges that people face when setting appointments? What are the challenges that we face as appointment setters? Now, remember, every business that's in the online space will have to set appointments. That is the way to go. Okay. And these challenges are faced by every single person who is setting appointments, either for themselves, for their own company, or somebody in their team. Or if you are only working as an appointment setter like me, you will definitely face this to varying degrees. So I just wanted to share that with you, give you a better idea or make you aware of how things are. So that next time when you face this, you understand that we all go through it and there are ways to overcome them as well. Now, some of the most common challenges that you may face while setting appointments is one, rejections. When you talk to a person, they are not interested. They say no. Many a times, maybe you're dialing somebody, people don't even pick up. They see your number, they don't want to pick up, they don't want to talk to you. Sometimes people slap the phone on you. How many of you must have gotten people just cutting the call on you, being disrespectful to you, maybe even using profanity against you? It happens. Understand it happens. That's just an easy way to understand that person is not the right person to work with. All right, it's better to have that out right now than later. I've had times when we've sent in people who shouldn't have been sent through. We've all made that mistake. We've sent in, they became clients, and they were the worst clients. Even though they were able to financially afford things, they were not good to work with. They didn't have the right mindset. They didn't have the right attitude. So as appointment setters, we are also gatekeepers to prevent things like that from happening. Make sure that you talk to people the right way. Rejection does happen. It's part of the process. Now, number two, time zones difference. So you might be on the Eastern time zone. Some of you are on Central Pacific. Some of you are on a global scale in Europe, in Asia, wherever you are. So that is another issue that you face. Whenever you're talking to somebody, make sure that you have the time set correctly. Many times it has happened when I say 9 a.m. and the person on the other side says 9 a.m. I meant Eastern, they meant Pacific. I called them when they were sleeping. So that happens. That has happened with me. It has happened with all of us. It is possible. So let's be very clear when it comes to time zones. Make sure what the time zones are. No shows. Setting appointments is one thing. You have people booked onto your calendar. They said they will show, but for some reason they don't show. That is another challenge that you face all the time. It doesn't matter in what level you are, how good you are, how bad you are. It doesn't matter. People will no-show you. That's just a general concept. They may forget. An emergency may have come up. There are multiple reasons. Some people just are disrespectful. They don't want to be there. They made a mistake setting an appointment with you. They don't want to do that. So it's another challenge. Understand that this happens when you go forward into this whole process. And number four, objections. People may ask you multiple questions. It's too costly. I don't understand what the program is. I don't understand what you do. These are also other challenges that they face. And we will talk about how to overcome them as well. And number five, it might be tiring or time consuming. Imagine dialing 100 people in a day or 200 people in a day, or sending out 100 emails or 200 emails. I remember Amanda did a skill search a week back, Jules a couple of weeks back, and she was talking about emails as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Amanda is amazing at that. She sends hundreds of emails on a daily basis. So imagine it might be tiring. It might be a lot of work. That is another challenge that anybody who's setting appointments might face. These are things that we just need to keep in the back of our mind so that we understand that we are not alone in these challenges. It is a part of the process that we need to understand, and we need to learn to overcome them. Okay, so how do you overcome these challenges? When somebody rejects you, when rejections happen, remember the first thing about appointment setting. You are here to disqualify, not qualify. There are going to be more people who are going to be disqualified, who you cannot help. You can help a lot of people, but you can't help everybody. If you are in a position where you are helping everybody, you are not helping anybody. So you need to be very clear. As I mentioned earlier, you need to have hyper focus on who your target audience is and only talk to them. Some people might not be ready. Some people might not be relevant. Some people might not be the right fit. So your aim is to disqualify them. Rejections are part of the disqualifying process. Just to understand that if you have a lot of people disqualified in a day, you don't set any appointments in a day or two, that happens. That's just part of the process. Remember that everyone cannot be your client. And yeah, it's part of every appointment setter's journey. Time zone differences, as I mentioned, make sure you schedule your time. You talk Eastern, they talk Pacific. Make sure you understand what their time zone is so that you can adjust accordingly. Schedule your time in, make a time chart that would work for you. If you need a piece of paper that tells you what time zone works in your current time. If you're Eastern, what does that mean in Pacific? If you're Eastern, what does that mean in Central or Arizona time, Mountain time, Dubai time, for example? Make sure you have that time chart in place if you need that, if you can't remember. I do that. It saved me a lot of time. It saved me a lot of problems. I wish I had done this earlier. And number three, no-shows. As I said, people may no-show on set appointments. Follow up with them, check in with them again. What happened? Was there an emergency? Did something come up? Life happens, right? So politely reach out to them, reschedule with them, and more often than not, people are happy that you reached back out and they are ready to reschedule. They are very happy sometimes as well that I'm glad that you reached out. I'm so happy. I made a mistake. It was my mistake. I shouldn't have done that, but this emergency happened, so please reschedule and you go ahead. You've built a relationship. You have understood that person on a deeper level now. They have rescheduled. Some people are just there to waste time. That happens as well. So keep an ultimatum when it comes to setting the number of no-shows. Beyond 2-3 no-shows, you know that person is no more interested. If somebody comes to you and says that they are ready to talk to you at a particular time and date, and they don't keep it the first time, it could be an emergency. A second time, it probably is not. A third time, they are definitely not interested. They're taking you for a ride. We don't entertain that. We have standards to maintain, and we will maintain them. We'll be polite, but we will not tolerate people wasting our time, or in general, they're wasting their time as well. They just don't value their word. So imagine if such people become clients, they might not value their word. They might not keep their end of the bargain. So it's better not to have them in place itself. When you get objections, number 4, remember your aim. This is another problem that I see a lot of us when we are setting appointments. We try to sell the program. We try to sell the weight loss program. No. When you're setting appointments, remember your aim is not to sell the program. You're not the expert here. You just know that a person who meets this criteria, your company can help them, but you are not the expert. So you send them to the expert. Remember, your aim is not to sell the program, but to sell the consultation. Your aim is to make sure that you can send them over to the expert, the consultant who knows how to solve their problem. You are not here to solve their problem. You are setting appointments for them. Okay, but if you are doing this for yourself, you know exactly if you can solve the problem or not, and based on that, you can make adjustments. So remember again, if you're just setting appointments, your aim is to sell the consultation, not the program. Answer their questions. Let it be financial, let it be about the program. Answer to the best you can, but understand, again, you're not the expert. You're not the person who can answer them rightly. So you need to make sure to let them know that these questions can be answered better by the consultant. They are the ones who are the experts. They will take care of you much better than I ever could. And also understand, when you're setting appointments, time is of the essence. You need to reach out to a lot of people. You need to talk to a lot of people. So you cannot be spending too much time with every person. You need to set standards as such, help everybody to the best you can. But if somebody is still not convinced, please send them resources and get back in touch with them after a few days as such, maybe. Send them more resources, give them more value through emails or some links that you have that talks more about your program. Do things like that. But remember, you are not the expert here. You're not here to sell the program. You're only here to sell or send them to the consultation call. Number 5, tiring, time consuming. Yes, it is something that as an appointment setter you would face, especially once you start getting to higher and higher levels. You understand that you will have to be talking to a lot of people before you find the right kind of people, and it is worth it to find that person who really needs your help, to go through all the other people who are going to say no, who are not going to be happy, who are not going to be helped by you. It is okay. It is tiring. But if you plan your day, if you chunk out your work in different parts of the day, if you put breaks in between, make sure you give in your breaks. You're not a machine. So make sure you give it your breaks every hour, every 2 hours, whatever it may be. Make sure you do that. Now we have come towards the end of the whole appointment setting process. I know it was just the basics. I just touched the surface. Here are some of the best practices and tips that all of you should understand when it comes to setting appointments for yourself, for your company, or if you're looking to just learn the skill of appointment setting. Now, always or more often than not, we say quality over quantity. But when it comes to appointment setting, I would say that is a gray area, all right? Because you might talk to 10 people, out of which one or two are really qualified, all right? So you had some 10 quality conversations, but one or two are only really qualified from that. And when they go to the consultant, they may or may not end up becoming a client. They may decide to wait. They may not be ready financially. They may have different issues that is stopping them. So think about this. Would you rather depend on those two people out of the 10 people that you talk to and possibly get a yes or no? Or would you rather talk to 20, 30, 50 people and make sure that you even, put the odds in your favor? So if it's 10, 2 out of every 10, if you talk to 100 people, that's 20 people that have the possibility of becoming clients, that have the possibility of being helped by you, which massively increases the result that you can get as an appointment setter. So understand, quality is important, but quantity is even more so important, because we really can't control a lot of factors. All we can do is send people in. So make sure that numbers are important. The chances of finding a yes is way more slimmer than the chances of finding a no. You're going to get so many more no's as compared to yeses. So please make sure you consistently give more output so that you can consistently do more input, so you can consistently get more output. Another thing, be fast with your response. When people respond to you, when people text back, when people ask you to call back, make sure you respond to them as quickly as possible. A rule of thumb that we generally like to use, for every 45 minutes that you are sending text, the last 15 minutes in the hour, check if they have replied back, right? You don't have to send a text and wait for a reply. No, if you have to send 20 texts, 30 texts, keep doing that, but set a time, 30 minutes later, or at the end of 45 minutes, you spend 10 minutes to reply to everybody who's replied back to you. Make sure you respond as quickly as possible to people. The speed to which you respond increases the result rate. Again, I'll repeat, the speed to the lead, the speed that the faster you reach out to people who have responded, the faster or the higher the chances of them becoming your clients. So please make sure you are fast in your response. Now, number 3, focus on needle movers. Now, we might have the best planning in place. We might have the best setup in place. We might have the best calendar in place. We have our scheduling software. We have watched all, you sat through our, the skill search today. You learned a lot of things, but remember, those are not the needle pushers. Those are not the things that will get you the results. They help you, but they are not the actual needle pushers. What really pushes the needle? It is the conversations that you have. Always remember, you need to have more conversations if you need to get more results. If you need to get more results, you need to have more conversations. By having the best planning, by having the best scheduling, by having the best training, it doesn't matter if you don't have the conversations. None of them, they're moot. So please make sure that you have more conversations so that you can get more results. Okay, and a very important thing is tracking everything. And I mean everything. As I mentioned earlier, numbers don't lie. At the end of the month, if you have tracked everything that you have done, the number of calls you have done, the number of emails you have sent, the number of texts you have sent, and you see the results that you've gotten at the end of the month, based on that, the following month, you can adjust yourself. If I need to talk to 100 people to get 10 sales, for example, all right, that's what I have noticed. I've spoken to 100 people. I've gotten 10 sales in the month. So if I want to get 15 sales, or if I want to get 20 sales the next month, I need to talk to 200 people. There you go. Now you have data. You know exactly what you need to do. You don't have to just throw a dart in the air and just hope it sticks. No, you know exactly what you need to do. You know exactly the action that you need to take. That means you may have to call more. That means you may have to send more emails. Maybe your emails are not working as well. Maybe you need to tweak that. Your texting is reaching to a lot of people, but they're not responding back. Okay, let's try and figure that out. right? So numbers don't lie. Please track everything. If you want to be very good at setting appointments, please track everything. I mean, in anything related to sales, track your numbers. You will. That is what separates the good from the great. They track everything, because the numbers don't think about your feelings. If you're good, it will show it's good. If you're bad, it will show it's bad. So use the numbers to your advantage. And finally, every call, when you talk to somebody, remember, they are a person on the other side. They're not just a number. They're not just a person that you need to sell to. They are another person who is looking for help, who has a problem, who has a pain, and you are here to help them. Listen to them. Spend more time listening to them and see if you can help them. Be polite, be courteous, and respectful. With that, we come to the end of our session. Thank you all for spending the time to listen. Do we have any questions? Anything that I can help you with over the next few minutes that we have?
Yeah, John, it's a question from John Golda. He asked that you mentioned calling leads. Are you referring to warm leads, responding to ads, or cold leads? If cold, where do you find them to call?
All right, let me open that up. So when we talk about calling leads, now there are multiple sources of finding leads. Now, when I mentioned the channels that we use are phone calls, email, social media. So looking into this, you can understand the way you find your leads, especially these days, or this is what we would recommend, is start using social media to start finding leads. They can be cold leads. Cold leads are people that you don't know at all, and then you reach out to them. Warm leads is anybody that has some idea of who you are. So it could be directly reaching out to them online, let's say on Facebook, friend requesting them, talking to somebody, or picking up a phone number of a list of people that you know who are relevant to you. You can call them up as well. It could be any of these. So you can call anybody. What you're asking more is in the direction of where do you find your leads. You can find your leads on social media. You can find your lead through lists that are available, Yellow Pages, Google searches, ads, multiple ways of finding leads. Okay, did that answer your question?
Yes. And then we have another question from Kelly. And she asked, is there a percentage of calls you make versus the people you can help? She's asking if you know like a close rate for that.
Yeah, sure. Now look at this. That's where I come to this track everything. Now, I know that my close rate is 20%, for example. That means for every 100 people I call, 20 people will become my clients. I don't have that data on day 1 of appointment setting. I have that data on day 30 of appointment setting, if I have tracked everything that I have done. Okay? Now, everybody is different. Each person is going to have a different close rate, so to speak, a rate in which you get sales. So if you need to find out what your personal close rate is, you need to track your data for an extended period of time or for a set period of time. I would recommend 30 days at a minimum, and then you have an idea. And then you use that data to improve on the second month. Now, if you are asking what a general close rate or a good close rate is, I would say anywhere between 20 to 25 is an average. 25 to 40 is very good. 40 plus, you're getting into the higher levels of efficiency, to the exceptional level. So aim for at least 20 to 25, which is the industry standard.
Okay, next question from Sarah Morgan. She wants to hire an appointment setter. How much money should I expect to pay? And is it per call or per appointment?
Okay, now for this particular question, Sarah, it depends on what your situation is. You can pay per call, you can pay per appointment, you can have them on a base pay as well. Now remember, an appointment setter, they work long hours. They have to do a lot of calls on a daily basis. Now, they're when they set appointments to whoever the consultant is, their result is based on if the consultant makes a sale or not, right? If the consultant makes a sale, they get a percentage of that. But if the consultant doesn't make a sale, they don't get anything. However, the work is put in by them already. So you can decide if you want to pay them based on the results that come at the end of the line, which they really don't have control over after setting the appointment. Of course, they can set better appointments with time, but again, that the unknown is the person, the consultant there. So you can do it that way, but we would recommend that you always have a base pay, a certain amount that you pay them regularly every month, so that the basics are taken care of, at least for them. That is one recommendation. Or you can start paying them by appointments, a specific amount per appointment set, regardless of if they result in a sale or not. If they result in a sale, you can add a percentage to them. That is also a good way of doing that. But again, it all depends on which way you want to have that combination, depending on what your focus is, what your numbers are. But we would always recommend have a base pay, have a percentage in place as well. So they are not just working to fill time, but they are incentivized to make better appointments so that they'll get more money in. Does that help?
Last question, or I think we have one more. We have two more. One question from Kevin. What are your recommendations for free CRM systems or cheap CRM systems?
Every CRM system does have should have a free or trial version. I've only focused on using paid versions so far. That's something that I might not be the best person to talk about, but when it comes to CRMs, you can just use Google Sheets or Excel. It doesn't get freer than that. So that would be the first thing to do. Okay, look into that, and then look for light versions of HubSpot or light versions of Alloware. These are other softwares that you can use, or Go High Level. I'm sure there are light versions of those as well.
We actually provide Go High Level for our members, Vineeth.
There you go. Go High Level.
Great. And then we have another question from John. What are your thoughts in regards to hiring setters directly compared to engaging services that manage setters on your behalf and book sales calls for you, especially as someone just getting started?
As someone who's getting started, this is what I would recommend. First, set appointments yourself. Learn the process yourself, so you know exactly what it takes for you to get a particular result. When you have done it for a month or two, or even more, I would recommend more. Once you've gotten those results, once you have your numbers, again, tracking those details, you know exactly what can happen when you put somebody in. The biggest problem I see with especially with somebody who's starting new, a beginner, and they hire an appointment setter, the problem is the appointment setter is completely dependent on you to get results. If you don't show them exactly how to get results, they will never get results. So you might think that they are bad, but the higher chances that you do not know how to help them out. So I would recommend that you learn to do that for yourself. Hire one person, all right, and then teach them, get them to at least get to 70 or 80% of what you are doing. That I would count as a success. But when it comes to hiring and through managing companies, that's a double-edged sword, so to speak. I would, you could hire setters through them, but I wouldn't let get outsource that much, at least not in the beginning. That is something that you need to discuss once you are in a space where you're in an advanced level. You know exactly the kind of results that you need, and you can pay really well. If you go for cheaper options, there are a lot of cheap options. They probably are not going to do well anyways. Okay, so focus on learning yourself, hiring your first person, see if they can replicate your results or as close as possible to your results, and then move into the next direction depending on how much money you have available.
Okay, John said that he has done setting for a year, and now new to trying to get setters to be effective for me.
Oh, great. So then you have data, then you have results, you know exactly what you have done. So now your aim to get an appointment setter would be in the direction of having your time saved up for something else, more like sales or fulfillment. In that case, you can definitely delegate that to a person or two. But now that you have done it for a year, you know exactly what it takes to set appointments. You need to just teach them that and see if they replicate it. Wait for those results before you start hiring a company for it.
I'm not sure if
Yeah,
you'll be
yeah.
able to answer this, Vineeth. Sarah asked if you know the examples of rates that are tried by CBI students for like hired setters.
Oh, I'm not sure of that. I would always say a rule of thumb: check in with the particular person that you're talking to. What is the minimum that they need to survive? If let's say they 3,000 is their minimum that they need to make per month to survive, you can maybe do $1,000 base pay, a third of that, and the two-thirds of that they can work on commission. So that way they are incentivized to work towards their goals, but they still have a base at a minimum that they're going to make every month. So that would be a direction that you can look into.
Yeah. Can I also share one thing, Vineeth?
Oh yeah, please.
I shared in the chat, just to base off, since they don't really know where to base off rates. You can hire offshore setters. I used to do Upwork. I've gotten a lot of jobs from Upwork. So you can, just to market research and see what the base pay is for setters on Upwork, or you can just search online as well.
Upwork. Yeah, there's Upwork, there's Fiverr, there online PH. There are so many out there that you can definitely look into, do your own research as such. But I'll tell you this: do not expect to see results right off the bat. You are doing this for the first time. You're doing it. You do not know how to find the right kind of person. So it's going to be a learning curve for you. Hiring is a whole another ball game. You just can't hire the best person right off the bat. You will learn a lot of things when you start hiring, but that should not stop you. You should hire, learn from it, and then make better decisions as you go. So that again is a process. But yeah, go ahead, Jules.
No, I was just gonna say I think that's it for the questions, but
Okay, great. Yeah. So if you're looking for appointment setters, I'll leave it at this. If you're looking for appointment setters, look for somebody who is very hungry to prove themselves, who will do what it takes to get results, and that attitude, that character is way bigger than, I would say, talent. That's way more important. Somebody who's hungry will outshine anybody who has talent and just is privileged. So that would be the biggest factor I would look for anybody who wants to become an appointment setter. Are we done?
yep.
Any other questions? All right. All right then. It was really nice talking to all of you. I hope I shared some insights here. Hope I helped you become 1% better today, and God bless all of you.